Just a reminder, if you like what you are watching, you can download the full 2020 Vision Trends for the Next Decade report at blog.microsoftadvertising.com, and make sure you read Aya's personal trend and my personal trend in that report. And our fifth and final bucket is economics, and this is our favorite. We're calling this trend Zebras Eat Unicorns. Disruptive business models from the 2010s centered around automated design and lacked human elements. As a result, the rise of unicorns may give way to a new model or animal that isn't fictitious. Zebras. Aya. This is a really fun one, and it's one we've talked about a lot when we were doing the research. What is this whole area? What are zebras? What do they represent? Why are they so important in the 2020s?
Well, zebras are those that are essentially have a very sound business model. They're not grabbing all that venture capital and running with that money and growing rapidly without proving any results, any profits, and looking for an exit strategy. They are in for the long haul. Compared to that, unicorns are really, what they are. They're just trying to grow fast, trying to acquire all that capital and try to run with it. And the goal is to be bought by another big conglomerate or to have an exit strategy that is essentially allows them to exit quickly.
Would you say this is like the pendulum swinging back? Because for the last decade, it was growth at any cost. And now we're seeing people say, hey, wait a minute. Let's take a step back and actually, maybe it isn't growth at any cost. Maybe it's sustainability. Maybe it's a company that lasts for 10, 20, 30 years rather than a short shelf life. Is that the right thing for me to say?
I agree. I think the pendulum is swinging backwards now. We are certainly have been in the period of rapid growth, even economically speaking, right? We have been expanding, the interest rates have been going down, and we're still kind of in that expansionary period. However, all the economic trends and the economic ratios are showing that in the long term, we are starting to see a little bit of a contraction. So in that sense, we are going to be looking for those companies that have a business model that is growing consistently, slowly, and long term in 10 years, 20 years, we are going to see them still available on the market rather than, having a brand that's be like, what's that brand?
Yeah. Some of the examples of zebras that we found in our research: Tomboy X, their unisex apparel, and Rock My Run. This is like Spotify for athletic and performance endurance music. So it's like, these are niche. That's the other thing about zebras. They're niche. A lot of them are people, I would say, that were ignored by VCs. Women entrepreneurs, people of color. So this also I have to ask the inclusivity question. Zebras are coming back basically to eat the unicorns because it's like, hey, you didn't want us to be part of the party. Now we're just going to sort of take over the show.
Totally. And actually last Wednesday, I was at a Microsoft for Startups organized event. It was for women, and there was a bunch of panelists, and one of them was a VC, and one of them obviously was an accelerator, but it was geared towards women in the startup environment. And there was a question posed from the audience. This woman, she had this brilliant idea, and it was a manufacturing process that was unique to her, and she had already customers lined up. But when she would pitch to VCs, obviously she would not get through. Actually, the numbers show that only 3% of women get venture capital funded. So in that sense, yes, that segment of the population is being pushed into being zebras. But that's a good thing, I think, because you're not relying on that extra money, having extra expectations to grow fast and become profitable in a year or two. Rather, you have the long-term goal and you're growing naturally with the revenue, and your business model is being proven by the demand.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of how my great-grandparents built their sort of small businesses, like slow and steady wins the race rather than growth at all costs. So fascinating stuff. Zebras eat unicorns.